Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, lots of valuable information for you all today, keeping you on the loop with what's going on in the Web3 ecosystem. We're going to be discussing and talking about Hbar, Hashgraph, Hbar, AGIX, SingularityNet, going down the rabbit hole with the quantum computers, shifts in digital technologies, massive transformation in the financial landscape. If you all enjoy these video breakdowns, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I'm going to attempt to keep it short. We're going to be reading documents, playing video clips. There's going to be so much value in today's video. So if you're new here, make sure that you go back and check out the infrastructure playlist on the CYPRX platform, okay? Go over to the CYPRX YouTube, find our playlist section, click on this public infrastructure playlist and scroll down. And before you watch this video breakdown, you're going to need to catch up, okay? In order to understand what we're talking about in this video breakdown, you're going to need a little bit of a revamp. So you're going to need to watch the last 3 video breakdowns in this playlist. XRP Unleashed, the power of the metaverse, guard your wealth, safeguard against your crypto investments, quantum resistant crypto, and then the industry is under attack. You're going to need to understand the things that I covered in the topics displayed in these 3 video breakdowns before we jump into this one. So make sure that you go back and check those out before you watch this one, so that way it all makes sense. All right. Now, I'm going to play a little video clip for you all. Pay attention. And then I'm going to show you a physical video in the real world of this taking place. And again, make sure that you go back and check these videos out so it all makes sense to you as to what's happening in the world right now, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot stress enough. Take a second and watch this video clip. Wow. Okay, that is what our society has become. Now, let me show you, this is not some freaking conspiracy theory. This is happening in the real world. All right, check this out. This is an event that took place just a couple of weeks ago. Grace, the world's foremost nursing assistant robot, was seen promenading and taking selfies in the streets of Austin, Texas. So check this out. Now, I want you all to pay attention to detail. Here we go. We got the robot, okay? And previous video breakdowns, especially this one, right? XRP Unleashed, the power of the metaverse. We talked about this. We talked about the digital transformation. We talked about how people are going to be consumed by technology in the metaverse, real worlds, artificial intelligence is going to, okay, just, I don't want to get into detail, get too off topic, but just go back and watch those videos. Look at this. Comparative to the video that I just showed you guys. Look at every single freaking person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people walking around the artificial intelligence, and they all have their heads down looking at what? Their freaking screens, their cell phones. They are all brainwashed. Do you all see? Do you all see this? The only one with their head up at this entire event where she was walking around is the artificial intelligence. Every other human being is preoccupied on their. This is physical proof that a video like this is not make-believe. People, this is happening. This is scary. This is a real world representation of a cartoon edit talking about what our society has become. All right. Now, again, take advantage of the opportunities that SingularityNet has to offer in the form of investments. This is not financial advice. Just go look into it. Go do your research on what SingularityNet is, what they're attempting to accomplish, the digital asset that they provide. Okay. Don't sleep on these opportunities. Don't be one of these people that's sucked into their phone trying to take pictures of this robot and instead get engaged with the technological transformation that's happening. Most of these people are like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. Let's take a picture. So I thought that I'd bring that one to light because I find it so interesting that these cartoons shared on social media are physically showing us examples in the real world of what our society is like. But you can literally go find examples of this on a day-to-day basis. Okay. This is not make-believe, people. Let's transition. Let's go over to some documents that I have shared for you all today. All right. We're going to touch base on the quantum computing situation at hand. Now, the reason why I'm heavily interested in these topics is because of this one document that I shared with you guys in the previous video breakdown. Again, go back and check out the video where we talk about this quantum resistant crypto in the infrastructure playlist on the YouTube. Okay. Now, if we scroll down to the bottom of this document on page 10, you can see it says, and this is from Citi, this is coming from a large financial institution. This isn't just randomly coming from me. This is from Citi. The cryptography underpinning Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general is also at risk of being broken. Then it goes on to talk about how to reduce this threat and improve security. The cryptocurrency community, that's us, that's you listening, should agree and deploy a quantum resistant signature scheme. That's why I'm heavily invested in and do a lot of research on quantum resistant digital assets or blockchain protocols, distributed ledger tech that are seeking to become quantum resistant in the near future.
So I tend to agree that in 2030, I don't even know if Bitcoin's going to be the winner. You mentioned quantum. What if a quantum came in, quantum resisted, crypto came in and was able to flip Bitcoin that was better than Bitcoin? I'm okay with that, right? And we don't know what we don't know.
Let's head over to this document from the World Economic Forum labeled Quantum Security for the Financial Sector. This is going to improve digital transformation. This is going to improve improvements in our financial system. Okay. This is from January 2024. So this is updated. All right. We're going to go through and we're going to just read some quick highlights from this. Right here, right off the bat, it goes on to say, quantum technology has the potential to revolutionize financial services, improving computation modeling and fraud detection, but it also poses significant risks. In an era marked by rapid digitalization, the financial sector stands on the brink of transformation from a digital economy to a quantum economy. Quantum computing promises to revolutionize operations across the financial sector with potential to disrupt portfolio management and improve risk management. However, it also comes with challenges as quantum computing could render most current encryption schemes obsolete, right? This is coming from the World Economic Forum. Remember, reiterating what Citi said, that the cryptography underpinning Bitcoin and Ethereum could be broken by quantum computers. I find that very interesting. The financial sector is on the verge of a major transformation as it begins to leverage emerging and frontier technologies. While the focus remains on technologies such as artificial intelligence. What did we just see in Austin, Texas, walking around a couple of weeks ago? A freaking artificial intelligence robot. And everybody was so fixated on looking down at their phones instead of being fixated on the freaking robot that for the first time in history is walking around a freaking city or a town. Okay? I mean, it's nuts what's happening right now. Several major financial institutions expect quantum computing to significantly disrupt the sector in the next decade and beyond. So remember, I'm highlighting this because we need to have a long-term perspective. This isn't going to happen overnight. I'm not fear-mongering. This is something that's going to take time to play out. Furthermore, emergence of a harvest now, decrypt later attack vector presents a significant current and long-term, see right there, long-term risk to the financial sector's data security. While the timeline is still uncertain, leading experts in the field forecast the quantum threat to materialize within the next decade, so we have a good time horizon right there. Governments are advocating for an action now to ensure that the industry is ready for the quantum threat by at least 2035. Now, the last very interesting part of this document goes on to capitalize on the flip the switch narrative. And we've heard this from some very reputable individuals talking about how the vast majority of people could potentially be asleep at the switch, or that the system was built in such a way for these financial institutions to switch over when they are ready, right? So this terminology, switch or flip of the switch, is nothing new.
Large financial institutions who are, arguably earning excess rents right now are saying, oh, that's never going to take away my margin. Everybody's aware. Everybody's aware it's coming, and they're preparing for that inflection point where it's all of a sudden, okay, I have to pivot, I have to give up that, but I'm going to build efficiency. This is not going to be where people, I don't think, maybe some are going to be asleep at the switch, but I think for the most part, people know this is coming. It's going to change their business models, but it's going to make them more efficient. So it's one of these, low revenue, higher margin opportunities, and it's just.
But now let's reiterate that in the document. So it says, the quantum-enabled security risk has highlighted the pressing need for financial sectors to modernize its overall approach to cryptography and cryptographic management. To remain resilient and secure against potential future risks, it is essential to modernize approaches to cryptographic management, such as the deployment of post-quantum cryptography. This is why we should be doing research on digital assets, blockchain protocols, distributed ledger tech that are looking or aiming to be quantum resistant. Organizations should also consider how to update their cryptographic management to align contemporary and DevOps seeking to repurpose and reuse existing practices, tools, and processes. Check this out. It says, this means the industry shifting its focus from a one-size-fits-all approach to a cryptographic agile approach. Such an approach would incorporate an inventory of systems, solutions, and security protocols that firms could easily switch to, between two, and remain resilient in the long term. You see that word right there, switch, okay? Easily switch to, right? You cannot make this up. There's something that is going to happen in the near future, ladies and gentlemen. When I say near future, you have that 2035 time horizon. Make sure that you're paying attention to detail, not getting so fixated on the now and really zooming out and seeing what is happening in the real world. None of this information going to make the mainstream, okay? Let's transition. Now, I find this document very interesting. If we just scroll up to the top of this, you can see that this is from a large consulting firm, KPMG, labeled financial services regulating the new reality. How many times in previous video breakdowns have we showed you guys that there is a new world being built right now, a new financial system, a new internet of things being built out? All right. Now, if we scroll down here to page 6, I find this very interesting. It goes on to talk about the pandemic, and we've confirmed this in previous video breakdowns, but just to reiterate, the pandemic has provided a significant push towards a more digital society. As banks and building society branches closed, customer service centers moved to a remote working model and cash transactions all but disappeared. Firms had to adopt rapidly. Initial evidence suggests that the adoption of technology and increasingly digitized processes has gone better than expected. It could be said that COVID-19 has unexpectedly acted as a catalyst for a more efficient, decentralized way of working.
Throughout the euro area and in Europe in general, is a dwindling use of cash. And this has been certainly accelerated by COVID. So everything is going digital.
Now, what I find important about this is how it mentions ESG. ESG is a strategic issue that must be embraced. Last but by no means least, the pandemic has highlighted that societies of all types and wealth levels are vulnerable and that the planet and environment are undergoing increasing strain. It has accentuated demands around the globe for climate-aware investing in carbon reduction, the ethical treatment of employees, customers, and other stakeholders. And it goes on to talk about the importance of ESG. Now, this document is from 2020. Fast forward to an event in 2023 where Mans Harman from Hbar Hashgraph went on to say this.
Build decentralized applications to realize that overarching vision. That vision is going to be realized in every sector of the industry. I mean, what you hear about a lot is the finance sector, but it's much broader than that. It's going to be in finance, it's going to be in real estate, it's going to be in supply chain use cases, and et cetera, et cetera. Every part of the internet, every sector of society is going to be affected by this technology and this model in this new version of the internet that's being created. And Hbar is one of those players.
Hbar is going to be an important role. The whole entire system is transforming. Blockchain and distributed ledger technology will be integrated into every existing part of our global society, right? And we see them talking about ESG, the digital transformation that was enacted by the CV-19 crisis. Now I want to take your attention to an event that's coming up in just a couple of days, right? So let's go back over to this web browser and look at this. What do we have right here? We have Hbar, where ESG is one of their core values, and they're going to be on a panel discussion with the Bank of International Settlements, who is developing public goods to support central banks, including ESG. Take a second and look, right? Here we have the on-chain 2024 event. We can scroll up to the top. Asia's first real-world asset conference taking place on the 26th of April, 2024. This is all updated information. And if we scroll right down here, we can see who's going to be talking about ESG on a panel discussion with one of the most systemically important organizations on the face of this planet, the Bank of International Settlements. The Hbar Foundation, they're going to be talking about financing ESG assets on chain with the Bank of International Settlements. Okay. This is absolutely massive. People are sleeping on these technological innovations. Don't sleep on Hbar. Don't sleep on Hbar Hashgraph. Go do research. They're physically telling you all that this stuff is important. And you can see the organizations and the companies that are sitting in on these important conversations and talking about the future of this digital landscape. So I thought that I'd share that one with you. That's very, very interesting, considering that we have confirmation why CV19 was enacted and what they're telling you all is important and what to be paying attention to, i.e. ESG. And now we can see future conferences where important organizations are sitting in with distributed ledger technology companies, right? Talking about the same exact topics. Now, here is more proof. Remember I said to you guys just a second ago, I'm not the one making this up. KPMG document, financial resilience in banking, a balancing act. Very interesting. Well, if we scroll right down here to page 17, and this is where I'll wrap it up for you all. All right. Always bringing you guys the realest insights, the realest information that the mainstream is never going to show you. I swear this stuff gets conspiratorial, but it won't be conspiratorial if you just read. Vast majority of people that think conspiracies are a thing, it's due to their lack of education. It's due to their lack of understanding. Okay. People will watch a video breakdown like the one I showed you with people on their phones walking around ignoring the real world, when in reality, I just showed you a real world example of how that is ongoing and happening and just took place a couple of weeks ago at an event where an artificial intelligence robot was walking around. But instead of people being infatuated with what's going on around them, they're too intrinsically intertwined with their freaking mobile devices. It's nuts. Okay. Look at this. So remember I mentioned to you guys, watch this previous video breakdown in the infrastructure playlist. Okay. This one in particular, you're going to need to watch this one right here, crypto industry under attack, to understand what it is that I'm saying in this part. All right. So check this out. Right here, what does it go on to say? Consolidation, when properly planned and executed, can play an important role here. What are they talking about? There will be winners and losers from the pandemic. Hold on. Let's go back and reiterate that. Consolidation, when properly planned and executed, can play an important role here. Remember what I said to you guys in the previous video breakdown and the infrastructure playlist video, and what the lady said on the panel discussion, that this was all planned to consolidate the banking system.
And I think that's where the bank regulators in Washington, D.C. want the U.S. banking system to go. They've certainly engineered what is likely to be an enormous wave of consolidation. Well, wait a minute. We were all supposed to be standing on our own, right? We have due process rights, and yet this was this coordinated approach across all the agencies. And now it's subsequently crystal clear it's a coordinated approach across all of the U.S. government agencies to try to kill crypto.
To reorganize the banking landscape. There will be winners and losers from the pandemic, and weaker banks may not survive. Smaller digital banks may also falter as their business models prove unsustainable in this new reality. Consolidation may offer a lifeline and boost profitability through economies of scale and greater cost efficiencies. Larger firms will be more likely to have their capacity to resources to absorb losses and invest in digital transformation. Right there, which is high on the regulator's agenda. However, it may also stifle innovation and competition and protect only firms with the deepest pockets. Wow. I mean, wow. It says right here, consolidation can secure safe and sound banks. Do you all freaking see what I'm showing you right now? This is massive, okay? What does it go on to say right here? Operational resilience remains in sharp focus as the counterpart to financial measures in maintaining financial stability. The focus on digital operational resilience, more specifically, is also increasing as the financial sector's dependence on technology grows, accelerated by the need for remote working solutions during the pandemic. COVID-19 has acted as a catalyst for the increasing digitalization of finance, bringing new risks and challenges to the banking system. Again, I'm not making this up. I'm just showing you guys this information so you can hopefully take advantage of the opportunities at hand. Now, last but not least, I just want you to see this, okay? This is coming from Christine Lagarde, president of the European Central Bank. Look at what she freaking said right here, all right? Remember, the same exact document where they're talking about how this was an executed plan, consolidation of the banking system, right? Talks about also in the same document how CV19 has enacted the catalyst for increasing digitalization. Look what the freaking ECB head said. Banks are being urged to prioritize a greener recovery to ensure a more resilient future. We must not let this crisis go to waste. Okay. I don't know what else to show people. All right. Make sure that you're doing research out there, taking advantage of these opportunities at hand. When the market goes discounted like it has been recently over the past consecutive couple of days, I know here at CYPRX, we're going to be taking advantage of those opportunities because we all know where this space is headed. The devil's in the details. The research is literally laid out on the table physically for you all, but the mainstream is never going to show you any of the information that I just displayed for you all here today. So do us a favor if you enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe, make sure that you go back and you watch the previous videos in the playlist so that way you are up to date with everything that's going on in the market, in this Web3 ecosystem with this digital transformation. As always, many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware out there, and I'll see you all in the next video breakdown.